Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to join us for our webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about Nexudus's new AI assistant feature exclusively on our newly launched, brand spanking new version 5 of our member portal. Some key considerations around it, including how it works, how to use it, why we developed it, and what kind of value it can bring to your space. A couple quick introductions. I'm Damian. I'm one of the customer success managers at Nexudus. I'm originally from Ireland, but I now live in Chicago. My accent is a little bit muddled, so forgive me when my pronunciations go back and forth. While we're getting started, if you would like to drop how many browser tabs you currently have open right now into the chat, let's see how many of you are in double digits. So just drop the number of tabs open into the chat. Some of you may have spoken with me directly before. If not, it's a pleasure to connect with you right now. Joining me today is my colleague Tony. Together, we form part of Nexudus's North American team. Many of you will already be familiar with him as our incredibly patient software support specialist at Nexudus. Say hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Tony is going to be running through some core principles of the assistant, how to set it up, helping answer some of those questions you may have about how the AI assistant works. Okay, so just a few bits of housekeeping before we get underway. We're aiming to keep this at around 20 to 30 minutes. If you are currently treating the webinar like a background podcast, which is what I do, no problems there. Just don't close me out until the very end so we can keep my engagement numbers up. Okay, deal. If you have any questions about what we covered today, feel free to drop them in the Q&A section of Zoom. Not in the chat, please. There'll always be one. We do have some moderators who will be collating those, and we'll answer a few at the end. And of course, if you think of something later that you want to follow up on, you can email our team at support@nexus.com. Recording, lastly, the webinar will be recorded, so if you need to drop off, please don't. Or if you just need to forward this to your colleague, no problem. You'll be able to watch it back at your pleasure, to review the details and fast forward the annoying parts. Okay, that's enough of me. Let's look at the chat and see how many tabs that people have open. 12, 20, 6, 9, 22, 17, an all-time low today. Okay, so we have like one, two, three people in double digits. I feel like my brain like breaks after like three tabs, but maybe that's just me. And I can safely say that like for some of you, I'm sure I'm in tab like 11 or something like that. But yeah, thank you for that. Let's dig into the AI assistant. So we are all experiencing this AI boom in real life, and unsurprisingly, a frequent request from our users has been to introduce an AI assistant into the Nexudus ecosystem. But let's establish a quick ground rule. We're not going to use the word chatbot. I know what many of you would be thinking, which is like, oh, great, another generic salesy website chatbot. This is not generic. It does not pull memory or answers from its memory. It's a closed system, integrated, omni-channel front desk assistant. That's a mouthful. That is powered exclusively by the live data in your Nexudus account and works entirely by your rules. That means it acts as more of an extension of your team in your space, but without, the horror stories of bots going rogue. It's important to note that the AI assistant is currently in beta. OpenAI is the sub-processor for the AI models, and the access is free of charge on the Nexudus side for the beta phase, but this may change in the future. Naturally, any third-party tools that you connect to the assistant will come with their own respective charges. Out of the box, the assistant operates across four major communication channels. You have the live chat, which has a cute floating widget directly inside your members portal, specifically member portal version 5, our new version. Via email, it can handle messages that are sent to your space's dedicated email address for AI. Via WhatsApp, so if your users want to message your space's WhatsApp number, they can get replies from the AI assistant. And lastly, our newest addition, which is the voice channel. When someone calls a space, especially outside of staffed hours, the AI assistant is able to answer common questions, help with inquiries, and guide your users. Now, the live chat on the members portal is ready to go by default. The other three will require some setup, which we will touch on in a little bit. All four of these channels share the same capabilities. They share the same data and the same visibility rules. So whether your member is messaging via WhatsApp, using the portal assistant, or they send an email or call the space out of hours, the assistant will deliver the same experience. The only difference being how the conversation starts and how it is formatted to the screen. Now, to tell you about what the core principles are, I will hand you over to Tony.
Thank you, Damian. Before we dive into the setup, let's talk about the four core principles that make this tool unique. One, it works strictly off your data. If a prospect asks about a plan and no matching record exists in your location, the assistant will say so clearly. It will never guess answers. It also works strictly from your data. If a prospect asks about a plan and no matching record exists in your location, the assistant will say so clearly. It will never guess answers. It will automatically respect your existing visibility and access settings, which means there's no extra configuration needed on your part. If a resource is members only, it will never be recommended to a contact of the space. It also tracks actual business outcomes. So every booking, plan sign up, or tour generated through the assistant is automatically linked back to that specific conversation. This in turn helps two distinct audiences. For your prospects, it acts as a 24/7 sales engine while acting as a self-service engine for your existing members. Now, let's talk about the setup. As operators, you guys maintain a mountain of repetitive questions every single day. Prospects want to know plan pricing, members want to know guest policy. Historically, this causes a lot of friction at the front desk. Taking some time to set up the AI assistant can help take that weight off your shoulders. It uses the data you already maintain with the Nexudus, just broken down into four basic steps: enabling channels, preparing your data, configuring visibility, and reviewing outcomes. Now, let's actually jump into the platform and take a look and see how we can control this. So you can access the different AI assisted settings via the settings in the admin panel. You'll notice that there's this new AI assisted section here. We'll go into the channels section to enable the channels that we want offered. As Damian mentioned earlier, the chat channel is enabled by default, but here's where you can enable the other three channels. We have email, we have WhatsApp, and we have voice. You'll notice that when we open the channels settings, it brought us to this general tab here. I'll touch a little bit more on that in a bit. But once we have our desired channels enabled, you'll want to work on your visibility settings. You can actually access those directly through the settings here under the same AI assistant section by clicking on products, plans, and desks. From here, we can make the individual records available to AI just by simply toggling this toggle on. So if I want to make this deposit product available to AI, I would just toggle the setting on. I can add some notes for the AI. These are notes that the AI will reference once it gets information. So deposit for plans. We can also show the price to AI. This will determine whether the assistant mentions the price or not in its conversations. And we can also assign it an AI price. This overrides the regular price in the AI responses, and it's pretty much useful for promotional rates. Any changes that you make to this section take effect immediately across all four different channels, allowing for total operational control. Now, while most of the things we've talked about are reactive, the new AI assistant features have a proactive side. Instead of waiting for someone to ask a question, proactive agents watch your data and flag situations that require attention. There are plans for agents across several different categories, with new agents being released as we speak. The initial available agents are the due invoice reminders, contract renewal, along with the recently added support pattern detection agent. Each agent follows the same cycle. It monitors your data, evaluates the situation, and then drops a proposed action into your AI inbox. Our recommendation is to start slow, review the different configuration settings for each agent, and just enable one or two. Keep manual review on for the first couple weeks, check the AI inbox daily, and get a feel for what it is proposing before you actually turn on auto execute. If you guys have any questions during the setup process, feel free to reach out to us at support and we'll gladly assist with the setup. Now, let's talk about how we can actually give this assistant its knowledge of the space, FAQs. As mentioned earlier, the AI assistant only looks at your locations data and is not going to wander onto Reddit looking for answers. It relies entirely on its closed system, and your published FAQ articles are the best way to manage the knowledge. So, to get the absolute most out of this, we have 3 golden rules for writing your articles. First, write in plain conversational language. It's the big 2-6, and gone are the days of trying to use exact keywords. The AI searches by meaning, and writing the same way that your front desk team would answer a question actually does work the best. Second, focus on the greatest hits. Write articles covering questions your team hears 50 times a day. Where do I park? What's the guest policy? Why is the printer not working? And third, keep it single topic. Try to keep each article focused on one specific thing so the AI can easily grab the most relevant match. Instead of creating one massive article that answers all the questions I just asked, break each question down into its own article. Now, let me show you exactly where you can create an FAQ in the platform. To create FAQs, you can always access them through the community section by clicking the FAQ section here. To create a new one, all we simply have to do is just click on the top right here on add FAQ article, and we can create one for just a simple, can I bring my dog to work question. So instead of titling it Canine Policy 1A, we could just type, are dogs allowed in the space? And then in the body, we'll just answer it as we would if they asked us in person. Yes, we love furry coworkers. Just make sure they're on a leash and don't bark too loud. Next, you'll want to make sure that the FAQ article is published. You can just toggle this setting here. And if you need to make it available to only contacts or only members, this is where you'll be able to kind of set that. But once you have your FAQ article ready to go, you'll just hit Save Changes, and it gets added to your list here. These other FAQ articles that I have listed here, you'll notice that they have an AI ready tag. That just means that the AI assistant has already read it, has already understood it, and has added it to its memory bank. It does take a few seconds, up to a few minutes, for the AI ready tag to be added. But once it's added, the next time a member is up at 2 a.m. in the morning, wondering if they can bring in their Labradoodle, the AI assistant will have an answer ready for them to go. Now, let's go back to Damian.
Thanks, Tony. Now that we've seen the back end, what does that look like for your users? The assistant handles FAQ answers based on your published articles, as we saw. It provides details about your locations, like opening hours and things like that. It lists your bookable rooms or desks. It showcases day passes, all without a prospective user needing an account. If a member wants to create, view, modify, or cancel a room booking, they can do that in real time through the assistant, though for security, the AI will require them to log in before it touches any existing bookings, or it will cross-reference their phone number or email to identify them. So let's look at 2 quick scenarios. So here on the member portal, in the bottom right, you can see this Ask Me with a robot symbol. If I click on that, it brings up the AI assistant. So in natural language, you can ask something like, what is your guest policy? And it will pull from the available live Nexudus data. Members can bring guests to the co-working space, but guests must be registered at the front desk when they arrive. Or something like, is the space dog friendly? Again, pulling from the live data on your Nexus account. Yes, the space is dog friendly. They are allowed as long as on a leash and do not bark too loudly. Another example that we can share would be using WhatsApp. So if I go to the next slide with WhatsApp, Uh, the user is messaging about a meeting room for tomorrow. Um, the assistant verifies who they are based on the phone number that they have registered to their Nexudus account. It checks real-time room availability for that user. Again, natural language. They want to book the HDMI room. It makes the booking instantly and it confirms it. No human intervention is required, and there's no mixed channel. So now over to Tony again to discuss conversions and how you can monitor the conversations.
Thanks, Damian. Nexudus independently tracks 5 core conversion outcomes: tours booked, customers created, contracts created, bookings created, and day passes purchased. Please note that a single chat could result in no conversions, one conversion, or multiple different conversion tags being added. Like a new prospect signing up for membership, this will trigger both a customer created and a contract created tag. Now, let's take a look at where all this data would land. So if you open up the admin panel, you can navigate to the operations section, and you'll see this AI conversations section here. If you click on it, this is where you'll see all the AI conversations. This is essentially your control tower. The AI assistant list will show you each conversation across all different channels. And at first glance, you can see the opening message, the conversion tag, if any, the customer that it tagged, the channel it was sent from, the last activity date, and the date the conversation was created. Now, when you click into a conversation, you can read the entire exchange word for word. And you'll see that if it has a conversion tag is right here. You can actually click on the conversion tag to take you back to the relevant Nexudus record, allowing you full operational control. With each conversation being fully traceable, you can see exactly which conversations drove real business outcome. Nothing gets lost, and you always know what the AI is answering on your behalf. Now, back to you, Damian.
Thank you. At Nexudus, we believe that the AI should not sit outside your co-working platform as a disconnected third-party tool. It should work from within the platform, and it should respect your live data, protect your business rules, and create measurable, trackable value for your space. Okay, over to the questions. Let's have a look. First question, do we have to be on member portal version 5 to use this? Yes, the AI assistant is built into member portal version 5, so you do need to migrate to the new version to use that functionality. Next question, Tony.
Let's see, would this assistant work similar to ChatGPT or Claude? No, the Nexus AI assistant, it's a closed system to closed integrated omni-channel front desk assistant. So
It's a
if it
lot.
doesn't know the answer, it will say so instead of just making up an answer on the spot.
Question 3, what functions are supported in other languages than English? All functions are available in any language. And those interacting with the AI assistant can communicate in any language.
Okay, does the voice channel connect to my landline? This would depend on your Twilio setup. You can connect an existing number to Twilio or use one of their auto-generated numbers that, like, I think has a monthly or annual fee associated with it, but it just depends on your Twilio setup.
Would it eventually be possible to use the Notion integration as on the knowledge base for the AI assistant? Not at this stage. However, we will pass this on to our product team and we can have that up for consideration. And then like some other kind of like FAQs we came up with. How do you stop it from inventing answers or hallucinating? The assistant is always fact-driven and it's always based on the real Nexudus records and the published FAQ articles. If there is no matching record or article, it will say so clearly rather than guess. It's not going to browse external sites, and if something isn't in your data, then the assistant isn't going to know it. In most cases, it will pass you over to a human.
Then see, if a member is requesting to book a room, how does the AI know who the member is? If the member is logged into the members portal, the AI will automatically know. But if someone is using the WhatsApp or email channels, then the system will know who the member is based on their email address and their phone number on their profile.
Can we control tone or personality for the assistant? You shape the voice primarily through how you have written your FAQ articles. So again, that plain conversational language, the same way that your front desk would actually answer those questions. Um, Plus the notes for AI field that Tony showed us, field on the plans and products, which the assistant is pulling from, gives it context on how to reply naturally in those responses.
Let's see. Can we control the tone or personality of the assistant? Yeah,
Just answer that one.
you. Oh, wait. Was it? Yeah, it was. Will it ever show members only information to a prospect? No, it won't. It automatically mirrors your existing visibility and access settings, so you don't need to do anything additional. Members only resources will only be displayed to members only, and then contacts only will only be displayed to contacts only.
Great. I think that's it for questions. In which case, some great questions there. I think that about wraps us up for today's webinar on the AI assistant. Thank you all so much for your time today and for getting to the end and keeping my engagement numbers up. We hope this was useful for you and you have a better understanding of how to use the feature. As a reminder, the webinar has been recorded, so you will be able to watch this back on YouTube. If you run into any issues or you have any questions about today's presentation, then you can message support@nexus.com and they will be happy to assist. If you haven't already migrated to version 5 of the member portal, it is super easy to do. We are happy to help guide you if you need any help. That's it, folks. Wishing you all an amazing rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.